Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. Really pleased to be able to show you today this absolutely stunning Triumph Tiger 1050 Sport ABS. Lovely looking bike in white, and we're pleased to have been able to take this in part exchange just recently from our friend and customer John Bauer. And having delivered John's new Ducati Multistrada all the way from mid-Essex all the way up to Bedlington in Northumberland, I can honestly say that the 300-mile journey back was made considerably more bearable with the knowledge that this beauty was in the back of the van, because she really is a credit to both John and her former keepers before him. So this 1050 Sport is a 2014 14 plate. And she's covered just 10,300 miles. And that low mileage certainly comes across in the overall condition of the bike. As I say, a real credit to John, who I think would be pleased to be referred to as fastidious in his maintenance of his motorcycles, and we take that as a compliment, because certainly the Ducati Multistrada that John purchased from us was certainly an absolute beauty. So what is a Triumph Tiger 1050 Sport? So most of you would have heard of the Triumph Tiger 1050. And back in 2012 it went through a host of revisions, including a slightly longer swing arm and a firmer rear shock, which not only gives it a slightly more sporty ride. I can show you that shock, probably one of the cleanest shocks you'll ever see on a sports tourer or adventure tourer. So that's now adjustable, and not only does that give the bike, as I say, a slightly more sporting ride when you're riding solo, but it also allows firming up the rear slightly, so by the time you're carrying a pillion and you've filled these not insubstantial panniers and top box with luggage, food and tools, that you don't compromise the overall handling of the bike. So, as with most Triumphs, of course, we've got a 3-cylinder engine, a triple if you will. You can see from those 3 exhaust downpipes. So 1050cc, and that engine puts out, depending on which review you read, around about 130 brake horsepower at the crank, which manifests itself to around 122, 123 at the rear wheel, about 77 pound-foot of torque. So it's a really nice versatile engine. The beauty of a 3-cylinder engine is obviously you still get the high RPM, but you get the low down torque similar to that of a V-twin. They've got their own unique sound as well, the 3-cylinder engines, and we'll start her up shortly so that you can hear how they sound. Almost a bit of almost like a turbo type whine to the 3-cylinder engines, but a really nice bit of kit. Okay, so basically as standard we have these engine crash bars, hand guards, crash bar on the left there as well, factory fitted heated grips, so a great bike for riding all year round. And in addition to these radial mounted Nissin brake calipers, we're also fitted with ABS as standard from the factory. You can see the ABS wheel there and the sensor. So again, whilst it seems a crying shame in many respects to ride a bike quite this clean in all weathers, ultimately that's what they're designed for, I guess, and nice to know that that ABS is there to keep you safe in the event of an emergency stop. And as you can see, this particular bike is also fitted with the 3-part colour-coded Triumph luggage. And in complete contrast to many sports tourers and adventure bikes that we see, the panniers are in remarkably good condition. This left pannier is absolutely unblemished, no marks on that at all. And that's fundamentally because they spent most of their time, top box and panniers, by John's own admission, wrapped in duvets in the garage. As you can see, you've got an enormous top box there, which will take 2 full face helmets. And we've got the very slightly smaller right hand pannier, smaller of course to allow for the aperture of the rear exhaust. And in the interest of integrity, there is one tiny blemish which the camera may not even pick up on the pannier cover there, but I have to say, even the fussiest individual I feel could live with that. Okay, we'll do some close-ups for you as well. She's currently wearing Bridgestone BT023 GT tyres. The GT has slightly firmer sidewalls, so ideal for those that do like to ride with the luggage on, the extra weight of the luggage and a pillion. But just look how clean that rear wheel is. No chips or scrapes, or quite frankly not even any dirt. And even the rear brake disc, as you can see, there's no corrosion. And testament to how well John both cleaned and stored the bike. And again, from the underneath we can see the rear shock and the suspension linkage there. There can't be many on the road quite as clean as that underneath. You may notice there that we've got an Optimate battery lead fitted. So John's always kept the battery on an Optimate, and likewise we will as well. Okay, up top we've got a comfort seat. This is a custom made comfort seat. A bit more padding in there for both pillion and rider. We do also have a second seat. We have a standard seat for the bike as well, which is in excellent condition. It does have one tiny little nick out of the pillion section, but really is nothing to be too concerned about. And looking at the left hand side of the rear wheel and the chain assembly, it was made evident to us by John, the previous owner, that his pet hate, I think it's fair to say, was excess grease around a chain and sprocket. John likes just enough to keep the chain healthy, but certainly didn't want it flung everywhere. And as you can see, that rear assembly there looks like it's off a bike that's just been booked in for its first service, in my opinion. Also a nice little bit of attention to detail. John had these side panels left and right, and these upper deflectors and the trims either side of the instrument panel, they were carbon dipped, so they're not actually real carbon fibre but carbon fibre effect, and certainly adds a sporty touch to the bike, and does away with the rather bland black plastic. As you can see, the paintwork is absolutely outstanding. Barely any stone chips or marks of any note. And the tank's been nicely protected by this large tank cover, tank protector here. Okay, we'll start her up for you. See the instrument panel do its self-check. And you can see the mileage there is 10,327. So just excuse the camera for a moment. We do just have to push the pull the clutch in. Excuse the camera. And there you go. That's what a Triumph Tiger 1050 Sport sounds like, bursting into life. And I actually think for a standard exhaust, these have got a really nice tone to them. Not too loud. See the ABS light flashing there. That's basically just the self-check, and the ABS light extinguishes once we reach 4 or 5 miles an hour. For those of you that aren't familiar with ABS as a system. And just to finalise, we'll show you how nice and simple these panniers are to remove, panniers and top box. Literally just flick the key, handle, and off it comes. We'll just plonk that in our showroom. And same again with the top box. Off it comes. And as you can see, without the luggage, she looks a much smaller, sprightlier and sportier touring bike, ready to attack some twisties. Just lay that top box down there, and you'll see we have actually got a custom airbrushed exhaust heat shield there as well, and it gives us, just before we finish the video, an opportunity to show you that lovely open rear wheel on the single-sided swing arm. And there we have it. She also benefits from a full service history. Currently got 4 stamps in the service book and last serviced at 7,500 miles. So she'll be fully serviced by ourselves before sale. And just to summarise, this is a Triumph Tiger 1050 Sport with full colour coded luggage, heated grips, full service history, 10,300 miles, and this bike we think is really good value at 7,195. Hope you enjoyed the video.